The Diplomat is finally out and people are loving it. The box office numbers say it. I'm sure box office is not that the big thing for you, but getting people back to theatres, and congratulations, a brilliant film done.
Thank you.
If we look at The Diplomat, there is a very fine line that distinguishes patriotism and jingoism, or just communicating one like your sentiments and then just going overboard.
Correct.
Did you be very careful with the thin line to not cross either of them?
Yeah, so Tanmay, when I first read the script, I think that was the beauty about and of the script, that it wasn't jingoistic.
Yeah.
It showed Pakistanis as good people also. And I think I give credit there to two people, my director and my writer. And I think they made sure between the two of them that we walked that, that tightrope.
Yeah.
And, because we could easily have made this film jingoistic. There were simple lines in the film. If you see in the end where he says, कि गलत एम्पायरिंग जैसे होता है,
Yeah.
and I walk up to him and I say, वैसे भी आपको हल्के में लेने की, so they're just very, it's the subtlety of the characters and the subtlety with which the director has projected his main protagonist, the diplomat, to present himself to the opposition, where it's not pulling out, say for example, with due respect, it's not pulling out a hand pump.
Correct.
You're still in the zone, you're still a diplomat. My real life space is me fighting. Like Tanmay, you and I were talking.
Yeah.
I didn't raise my hand in this film, and that's the beauty of this film.
Absolutely. Which is very important, I think, for certain films that you have done.
Yeah.
Be it Madras Cafe, even now.
Yeah.
Not in a negative term, but it is a silent hero. That era, I think you are bringing it very rightfully. Do you think the current audience, the audience that is so accustomed to watching loud South films, they are now ready to again welcome the silent hero era, to see more intellectual conversations happening on screen, and that translates into off-screen conversations and discussions also?
Did you like The Diplomat?
I loved it.
You're the audience. So I'm saying there are so many like you, Tanmay, that have just enjoyed everything in this film. Did you have any expectation from the film? The answer is no. No one had any expectation. So when it comes to you like a breath of fresh air, and you say, like we were discussing, and you say, John, this is not that stereotypical thing, and I wanted something different, and I got to see something different. This just offers you all that. So I think the audience is ready. I think we as producers and studios have to have that faith and say, listen, we're going to play on the front foot. IPL is coming now, so I can use that word. We're going to play on the front foot, and we're going to kind of go out there with the number of screens we want to. We're going to go out there with a confident marketing campaign.
Yeah.
In the case of Diplomat, all that did not happen. Okay, because initially everybody was, like I use this word, pussyfooting. Like they're very careful. They put their foot here, there. They're very careful. They don't know what they're treading on. They don't know what they're presenting. And I get that. So slowly but surely there has been confidence that has been built up.
Yeah.
Because when the studio itself saw the reactions on Friday and Saturday and Sunday, they were very encouraged. Obviously, because the base was smaller, the numbers that you have from Monday are going to be smaller. But the numbers are holding on.
Yeah. Yes.
And we believe, Tanmay, we believe that this weekend is going to be bigger. And if this weekend is bigger, then I believe there is no stopping this film in terms of, having a consistent run at the box office for another 2 or 3 weeks.
Exactly. Even I've been tracking the box office. It's steady.
It's steady.
Every day we are constantly seeing a rise in the number.
Yeah.
Though people might point out that, there's a decline, but it is steady.
Yeah.
Does it assure you or give confidence that more films like Diplomat can be made for the big screen? Because often there is a discussion that a smaller budget film, a niche film deserves to go to the OTT. That is something that I don't believe. Every film, because cinema is meant for the big screen.
Yeah.
You can't watch it on a small laptop screen, it doesn't do justice.
Absolutely.
Do you think that this gives more confidence and people, filmmakers, new veterans, everyone will get more confidence to just explore, to just thrive on their creativity?
See, so I would answer this question this way. First of all, I think it must give more confidence to people to answer your question. But I think as producers, you must be braver to present the film more aggressively.
Okay.
The Diplomat had a very subtle to a nondescript, presentation. It was. We were also. We didn't know where we were going with it till people saw it, and now we've become braver.
Yeah.
So the point I'm trying to make is, if we were braver, our base opening would have been way higher, and our numbers would be way higher. But keeping all that aside, the acceptance to the film is incredible. Seeing this acceptance to the film, to answer your question, this should give confidence to other filmmakers to dwell on subjects like this. Because everybody tells me, John, you're an action hero. You've not raised your hand.
Yeah.
But if you see, this is a new John Abraham, and credit to my director for literally holding my hand and taking me through scenes, because I've not dropped my character at a single point.
Never.
Not only me, Sadia. Not only Sadia. Sadia is brilliant. Not only Sadia, every embassy member, my villains, Tahir and Bashir, everybody was cast so well, and everybody had a graph that was maintained so well through the film. So I think this should give confidence.
Absolutely. John, you are also the producer of this film. With John Abraham Entertainment, if we look at your trajectory, you have made various films, you have launched new talents, you have given a bigger platform for newer people. Though Sadia can't be called a new person because she's already 2 films old.
Correct.
But even in the past, you have launched Ayushman, Yami.
Yeah.
You've brought Rashi Khanna to Bollywood with
fact,
Madras Cafe.
Our first film, which finally released, it's called Kho Gaye Hum Kahan, which released on Z. We had Rohit Saraf and we had Sanjana. That was our film.
Oh.
Yeah, so they were all new. Adarsh Gaurav, they were all newcomers in that. So we've seen their journey from the start.
Yes, absolutely. So when you, as a producer and actor, when you launch new talents, does it come from a very personal space of the journey you have seen as an actor since the very beginning? Because you come from a non-filmy background.
Yeah.
You just started with all sorts of brilliant roles, creative, varied roles. So when you produce films and you introduce or launch new people, does it come from a very personal space?
Yeah, it does. It does, Tanmay. You asked a very beautiful question. I may try and be very smart about my answer and say no and this and that. But yes, it is very personal because I've been through that journey. And if I feel there is someone deserving from the outside that could probably fit in there beautifully, then why not? But at the same time, I'm not averse to, kids from the industry or anybody who suits that role really well. In my case, it's always been a newcomer from the outside, and I think that's going to be the way forward for me.
Okay. Are you okay working with people from the industry also?
Yeah, I love people from the industry. In fact, one of my best co-stars is Abhishek Bachchan.
Yeah.
He's a boy from the industry. And I say this, in all honesty, he's one of the most well-brought up, good human beings that I've had the honor and the pleasure of working with. I know Ritik since school days. He's my classmate from school. One of the nicest boys you can see around. Aditya Chopra, Uday Chopra was my classmate. So there are so many people from my school who are in the industry, and they're wonderful people. Ranbir was my junior, Aditya Chopra was my senior, Amir Khan was my super senior. So we've all been from the same school, and it's wonderful seeing all these people, learning from them. And, they have great attitude. They have great attitude. And that also stems from the fact that they know the whereabouts in the industry, So I learn a lot from these people.
Okay. In the Diplomat, there are certain dialogues that say Pakistan to sirf threat de sakta hai. When you all were crafting these dialogues, when as a collaborative creative process, were you all careful about getting the criticism? Because some people on social media, if you're comfortable talking about it,
Of course, yeah.
they tend to get very judgmental and they
Yeah.
bring out.
Not at all. I'll tell you why it didn't come. Because when you read the script and when you see the film, in
Yeah.
your case, you've seen the film.
Yes.
One of the biggest claptraps in the film, claptraps is one of the places where the audience really claps.
Yeah.
Is when the judge says, "ये इंडिया और पाकिस्तान का सवाल
Yes.
नहीं है, एक औरत की इज्जत का सवाल है."
Beautiful
And the
scene.
audience claps. Now, who's the hero in that scene? He's a Pakistani judge.
Yeah.
Kumud Mishra plays Noon Sayed. What is he? He's a Pakistani lawyer.
Yeah.
We've shown Pakistan the way it is. I've got a lot of people in Pakistan who follow
Okay.
me.
Okay. Yeah.
And I believe that no one's going to be offended by this because we've shown India like it is, Pakistan now like how it is. And we presented that in all honesty. So I don't think anybody should have an objection.
If you're comfortable again talking about
Of course.
it,
I have no option now. We're sitting in front of the camera. You can
but
go
you
ahead with
can
it.
deny also.
No. Yeah. You're too sweet. You can just ask anything. I'll be comfortable. Yeah.
John, did you like you're a producer, when you are bringing new people or making films,
Yeah.
do you look at yourself as a godfather to younger generation people? Because if I'm not wrong, you did not have any godfather while coming up in the industry.
Correct.
Do you think you can be that one figure to many more people and then guide them to reach a pedestal in the film industry?
Yeah. I would like to. I would love to. I'd like to use Godfather in a very gangster way, but I would love to see everybody grow. Like when I see Ayushmann doing so well,
Yeah.
I think I'm the happiest person in the world. So just like him, I would like to see people around me grow. So
Yeah.
when we accept scripts at J Entertainment, it's not necessarily for me as an actor.
Yeah.
We take in scripts that are interesting. Now, if I'm not the right cast for it, we ask our director at that point of time, who's your ideal cast for it? And they come in because they know with me, they can talk about their ideal cast. It's not about John Abraham. So then they say, oh, we've got X, Y, Z in mind. You know, these are the people we've got in mind. And that's how our conversations go. So yes, I would like to be a platform for many more of the young talent in the industry where they feel secure and safe. You know, not just young actors, but even younger producers
Okay.
who want a platform to co-produce with us. Like we've got these two little young boys in Fortune Films. Very young, sweet boys, you know. Sameer Dikshit and Jatish Verma. Very young, sweet, you know. One wears a pea cap and all, you know, sweet kids. I would like to see them also nurtured within they have a production company called Fortune Films, which is a co-producer on The Diplomat. And in fact, they got JP Singh's story. So
Oh.
they're the actual heroes. They identified the story and got it here.
Yeah.
So they needed a platform. And they got a platform from many different sources, from J Entertainment, from T-Series, etc. But we like to nurture everybody. We want to nurture younger directors. So that's how we want to grow our ecosystem and the world.
Okay. The Diplomat followed a very limited promotional strategy. Something in this time, there is a lot going on social media. Constant hammering of videos, reels. Promotion is a big deal.
We couldn't bang in reels on The Diplomat. You'd be like, what are we talking about? Yeah,
The film doesn't require it. The
Exactly.
film is very serious.
exactly.
So, was it very conscious decision?
Yes, it was a very conscious decision because, you know, there's a very thin line between marketing and over-promoting a film. And I didn't want to be guilty of over-promoting a film that had a different kind of a credibility. And I always told my team, and you can ask them, you know, they're standing off camera here, and you can ask anybody. I always said the best marketing for this film is the film itself. That's the way this film needs to be marketed. We are only vehicles. You know, honestly, I'm sitting in front of the camera talking to you, but my director's done the hard work. So, I mean, I can say anything, any flowery thing that I want to, but finally the film has to speak. And why I'm happy that we're doing this interview is because you've seen the film. Did you like the film?
I loved it.
That's what matters. You loved it, and you loved it not because I told you to love it. You loved it because you went and saw it and you loved it. And this reaction that you have is genuine. It's not a fake reaction. It's not like the studio executives have put a gun to your head and said, you have to react like this. And that's, for me, is the biggest reward, that you loved it. And like you, the others.
Absolutely. This film has a repeat recall value. You can watch it multiple times and not get bored.
Yeah.
Something like your previous films did, be it Madras Cafe. I'm again saying Madras Cafe because Parmanu, because they are spectacular films.
Yeah.
They blend cinema with storytelling,
Correct.
with content. Do you see such films being made currently also, even if we talk about lighter films like Dostana or Garam Masala?
Oh, I love this.
We all love it. Do you see those kind of films being made again in the current situation?
The serious ones?
Both. The serious, lighter ones, your genre of films. Your
I
films.
would love, honestly, like I just say this, my space is very Madras Cafe, The Diplomat, Parmanu, Batla House. That's my space. But I dig and I love comedy. So I think, we need to do a mixture of everything. You can't just be serious in life. Finally, you and I both, we go to the theatre. Why? We want to just have a laugh.
With the family.
With the family, you want to have a laugh. So don't you think like the Dostanas and the Garam Masalas would help you do that?
Absolutely.
So we want to do that. We want to, Shivam Nair is my director of The Diplomat. We're planning on doing a comedy because he's got a great sense of humor. He's got a great sense of humor. So I think we want to use that, take advantage of that. Abhishek Sharma and me, the gentleman in Parmanu.
Yes.
We're writing something that's very interesting. So the idea is to develop content. And you know what, Tanmay, I'm saying this on camera. By the end of it, when we write it and you realize that, hey, John, we've written this differently and you don't seem to be the right guy for it. We'll get someone who's right for it. But the idea is that I'd love to do comedies.
Comedy with Akshay Kumar.
Oh, yeah, man, totally. He's a rock star. And I think we really have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
In Housefull too, there's a very funny scene where we fall down a waterfall.
Yes.
But before that, we hold each other and we say, we are friends. That's all impromptu. The director didn't tell us what to do. So we just do anything in the spot of the moment and the camera just rolls.
Were you approached for the fifth part?
Yes, I was, yeah. But I chose not to do it,
Okay.
Yeah. I just felt that maybe there's a better space for me reserved somewhere else. I'd love to do a Garam Masala with Akshay or just a situational comedy, fun, dark comedy. I don't know what kind of a film, but yeah.
Absolutely. I was at the Pathan press meet that happened after the success, exchanging a hug. He just came around and hugged you.
Yeah.
I want to know a little more about your rapport with Shah Rukh. How did you all bond on sets? Because Pathan was not a film that is comedy. It is not fun. It is very taxing.
Very taxing.
Every shot requires power, muscular energy to pull it off. How did you all break the ice on set?
A bit of trivia. When I did my modeling competition, I did a competition called Glad Rags.
Yes.
And I won that competition. My judge was Shah Rukh Khan.
Really?
So, Shah Rukh was my judge, Karan Johar was my judge, Gauri Khan was my judge, then Karan Kapoor, the Bombay dying dream lover model, they were all my judges.
Oh.
And I won that competition. So for me, working with Shah Rukh was like this whole circle where I started my life with him.
Yeah.
And I ended up working with him. So it was beautiful because he's a beautiful human being. He's a wonderful person, very well-read, well-spoken, very courteous, understands cinema like nobody does. And we had a great time on set. So if you've seen Pathan, we through the film we were fighting and beating each other. But in breaks we were having tea and coffee. And then saying, okay, shot ready, boom, 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 coming back and having a tea. So it was one of the nicest experiences I've had working with him. Beautiful. Yeah.
In Pathan, we noticed one angle that fan theories say that your character Jim has some connection with Ritik's Kabir. Are you having a cameo in War 2? Please tell us. Please tell us yes.
So, if you see Pathan, I'll answer this question differently. Ashutosh Rana's character, says Jim or Kabir मेरे दो सबसे अच्छे students थे. One went absolutely right, that's Kabir, and the other went absolutely wrong, that's Jim. One was black and one was white, so I was black, you know. And of course, we all belong to the Spyverse, so you never know.
Is it a hint?
I don't think I'm there in it. I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Is Jim getting a separate spin-off?
I would
with
love
Shah Rukh?
that. I would love that. So that, if you ask me, I would love for Jim to get a separate spin-off. And I think Aditya Chopra is the right person to kind of, you know, call the shots in that. He's like, I call him the boss. He's the boss. He'll decide. But I think Jim does merit a spin-off, and he's fantastic. And I think that's Shah Rukh's favorite character in Pathaan also. So I think it'll be worth it.
Absolutely, we would love to see it. Also, one thing that after the Diplomat released, or just around the film's release, Anurag Kashyap said this was the best performance he has seen of yours, and he appreciates the work you've done in the film. Along with that, he hinted at the sequel of No Smoking.
Did he?
Yes, he said if the right script comes along, you all would he would definitely collaborate with you. How much of a fan are you of sequels, remakes, and taking forward a franchise? What is your idea of this? Sequels.
So Tanmay, I don't have a problem with sequels. I haven't made films that could possibly have a sequel. But you know, as people, like you spoke and we were both gushing when we were speaking about Garam Masala Part 2. So if there's a sequel that's really worth it, if you have a sequel like that, why not? We must make it happen. But if you're having a sequel just for the sake of commercial reward, and people are also asking, why does this film need a sequel? Then it doesn't make sense. But that only the creator knows. So we haven't decided anything on Garam Masala 2, for example, you know, to answer your question. But yeah, I don't have a problem with sequels. Would I make them in-house? If I have a film that is franchisable, I would do it. I don't have a film that's franchisable, so I cannot do it. Do I believe in remakes? I again don't have a problem with remakes. We've made it a cuss word right now because we've kind of just gone wrong with the way we are remaking films. For example, we take a South Indian film and we remake it in Hindi or whatever. I don't have a problem with it. But I think better than a remake, if you adapt the story, if you want a North Indian or the rest of India to see something that you presumably feel that the rest of India has not seen, but is available in the South. And of course, a lot of them see it on the Hindi dub through OTT and all that. I get that. But if you still aren't convinced and you want to do it, maybe you could adapt it, and I don't see a problem with it. You know, so I don't see a problem with remakes. I don't see a problem with franchises. And as long as you're telling a good story differently, that's what matters.
As you spoke about South films, are you open to doing South cinema?
I've been offered. Yeah, but I've refused.
Any reason?
No specific reason. I just probably didn't sit well with me at this point of time. But like I said, never say never. You don't know. At this point of time, maybe I wasn't really excited about anything. So I've been offered some really big stuff, but I've chosen to stay away.
Okay. Lovely. Thank you so much, John. Lovely talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you for watching The Diplomat.